Hare Krishna, everyone. There's a very clear distinction between the information and the knowledge that we accumulate in this lifetime, the education that we get. There's a very clear distinction between that kind of knowledge and spiritual knowledge, knowledge of the soul, knowledge of that which cannot be perceived by the senses. Hare Krishna, welcome to everyone to our next Bhagavad Gita Basics session. Happy Safala Ekadashi. Why is that? Why is there such a clear distinction in the Vedic understanding of Jnanam and Divya Jnanam? Just knowledge about the phenomenal world, knowledge about everything around us, and spiritual divine knowledge. What is the distinction and why is there a distinction? This beautiful shloka by Arjuna to Krishna, it highlights the difference. Arjuna is a powerful warrior. He has the best education that he could have received. He should have had all the answers that he needed. And yet we see him in this very weak situation. He's overwhelmed, he's almost panicking. From our last session, if you didn't watch it, please do catch up. He's literally having a panic attack. His limbs are going limp and he's almost crying. He has tears in his eyes and he's shivering and his bow falls out of his hand because he is overwhelmed with emotion for his family and the predicament that he's in. He has to fight and kill his own cousins and uncles and grand uncles, and all the wisdom and knowledge that he had up until then is failing him. And that's going to be all of us. All of us will come face to face with a spiritual crisis in our life because we are spirit souls trapped in a material compass, and we're encompassed by material covering, a body which is not spiritual. So we're identifying with the body and everything that entails, and that's causing a spiritual crisis, a spiritual existential crisis. The only way to deal with that spiritual crisis is through spiritual knowledge, Divya Jnanam, which cannot be attained by just Googling it or reading a book or listening to a Facebook Live like this. Sadly, that's not the solution. It must be earned. And this beautiful shloka that Arjuna says highlights. So please do repeat with me. kārpaṇya-doṣopahata-svabhāvaḥ pṛcchāmi tvāṁ dharma-sammūḍha-cetāḥ syān ništitam brūhi tanme śiṣyas śādhi tvāṁ prapannam. He says, I want you to help me. I'm your disciple, he tells Krishna. Let's stop this friendly talk. I'm no longer just your friend. I am really overwhelmed and confused. I don't know what to do. kārpaṇya-doṣopahata. He's feeling weak and miserly as such, meaning he can't understand what to do. He's feeling overly attached to his family members and dharma-sammūḍha. He's confused about his duty. What should I do now? Because he's giving all these examples. Well, if I kill them, that is sinful. And what's the point of enjoying this kingdom if they're all dead? We all have those moments when we are, most of our crisis will come from relationships and people that we know. People that we don't know cannot affect our life to a great degree. But usually it's over-attachment or lack of attachment, an imbalance in our relationships, an imbalance in our understanding of what to do in these situations. The only way we can find that clarity on what is our dharma, the only way we can remove the confusion around our dharma is to seek out that spiritual guidance, that spiritual wisdom, and coming back to the point that no amount of material wisdom, no amount of material information, no amount of material knowledge that we gain from Googling or YouTubing or reading books is actually going to give us the strength and the wisdom that we need to deal with the spiritual crisis. Material solutions do not work for spiritual problems. That's the highlight here, because Arjuna already has material wisdom. He's an extremely powerful warrior, but yet he submits himself to Krishna. He, as a śiṣya, as a student, and says, please help me. I surrender, prapannam. I surrender to you. Please guide me and remove this confusion that I have. This is really essential and something that is not popular nowadays. We don't like to hear that we've got to surrender to someone. We don't want to hear that we have to humble ourselves, put ourselves in a lower position so that someone else can help us. But spiritual knowledge is very unique. The Vedic understanding of Divya Jnanam is not something that we can get on our own. And if we continue to think, no, I will read the Gita on my own, I'm going to figure it out, I will know God, I don't need a guru. Gurus are all, they're hypocrites. Look at all the gurus in the news, I know about them. We've become so jaded and find it so difficult to trust anyone. And I don't blame anyone. I have similar issues because in life we are let down by so many people. There's so much hypocrisy and distrust in us, and it's understandable. But it's not an excuse to change the system. It doesn't work because true spiritual knowledge can only flow down, can only be given by someone who has it. Divya Jnanam is only illuminated in the heart by someone who has it. It's alive. Spirit is alive. It is not inert like matter. Material knowledge, you can just Google it. Google could be God, but it's not, because that is not alive. It is asat. It is changing, it's mutating. It will not be of use to us a few weeks, a few days down the road. Therefore, it's asat. It is temporary and almost useless. The only truth, the only sat, is that which illumines the chit and then releases ananda. And that can only be given by someone who has it, because it's like a transmission from one source of spirit to the next. A candle that is lit can light the next candle. So the guru is someone who has that wisdom, who has gained it from their guru, and thereby is able to transmit it, is able to give us that live spiritual wisdom. There's no other way, sadly. So even though it's hard for us to imagine trusting someone possibly, or imagine giving ourselves to a path of wisdom where we have to humble ourselves, where we have to serve the guru, where we have to have a relationship which is alive. It's difficult to comprehend that, but without it, it's impossible. Without it, we will be chewing the chewed, just regurgitating dead information. It has not been illumined. It will simply remain asat vidya. It will not be divya jnanam. There's a beautiful prayer. Chakshudana dilojay janme janme prabhushay divya jnana hridaya prakashita. That person who has given us chakshudan, has given us the gift of real vision, where we can see reality for what it is, not just for what the media shows us or what someone else told us, or our material conditioning, our own mind is warping the reality. We have so many the person who can truly gift us the knowledge and vision to see reality for what it is, that is Guru. And Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashita. Guru is someone who not just reveals knowledge, but enlightens it, illumines the heart. It dispels all the darkness and ignorance and confusion and weakness within the heart and mind, and allows the clarity and vision that then gives us the strength to act, gives us the strength to follow our dharma and live life fully with joy and true divine knowledge. So Satchidanand just becomes a natural state for us with the help of Guru, with the help of this guide. So, just wanted to share that beautiful verse today, that every one of us will come face to face with so many crises, and they will all ultimately have a root in spiritual misidentification. Our crises all arise from not being spiritually situated. And for being spiritually situated, we must take shelter and gain this divya knowledge, this divine knowledge from a higher source. Water always flows downward. Grace flows from higher to lower. We cannot take it. Divya Gyan is not something we can just take by our own action and our own ability. It is something which is bestowed upon us. It's gifted to us. And how is it gifted? What makes us worthy of that gift is real humility, real surrender, prapannam. Krishna says a beautiful shloka as well. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. The tattvadarshis, they can give us this divya jnanam. How? By sevaya, right? By pariprashnena. When you give yourself, you give your mind, you ask relevant questions, and you serve this tattvadarshi, this person who sees reality for what it is, who can see the truth, who can see the sat in everything around us, because it's there. It's there. We just need the vision. And to get that vision, we must give ourselves. We must surrender and serve each other. And we may think, well, I don't know where that tattvadarshi is. There's no one around me. I don't have that person in my life. Actually, it begins with serving whoever is around you. Whoever Krishna has put in your life. Your family members, your husband, your wife, your children, your guides and teachers. If we start with serving them, with a sincere prayer in our heart, that please, Krishna, guide me to that ultimate person who is seeing the truth, then slowly that path builds. We can build that path of divine grace in our lives by serving the people around us. We begin with serving the local community of devotees. That Vaishnava Seva, that will open up the way to finding your Param Gurudev, your eternal Guru, and revealing that relationship with Guru. Of course, Srila Prabhupada's books are there to help guide us, guide in our actions, to find the Guru in our life, the living Guru. We need a living Guru, just like we need a living partner. It's not enough to read about a husband or wife or children. You must have that experience in real life. Similarly, spiritual practices are alive. We need to have that relationship, give ourselves in service, surrender, and everything else will be revealed. The vision will be bestowed upon us, and the heart will be cleansed so that we can actually experience clarity and joy. Wanted to share that with you. Hope you're having a wonderful Safala Ekadashi. It's a very special one today. I'm going to try to come on once a week. I can't give you a fixed time because it's difficult with the children, but once a week, please join our Bhagavad Gita Basics, where we'll be discussing key verses of the Bhagavad Gita and making it relevant in our lives. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please do share it.